What is up, guys? Welcome back. So since we received a bunch of new information regarding the skills, the aspects or whatever with the embargo lifted, I'm 99% certain that this is gonna be one of the best Warlock builds out there. Now, I've been cooking up this build for quite some time. I already made a video about it, but since we received a bunch of new information, it's time to remake it. We already have the set charms confirmed to us, so it is getting clearer and clearer that this is gonna be the breadwinner. Now let me walk you through my thought process, how I want to build this, and then we can take a look at the skills and the gear and whatnot, right? So we're gonna take Doom. Now Doom will allow us to tap into Hex. Hex will grants us increased damage based on the enemy's missing life. Now we're gonna take Contagion for the AoE aspect. We're gonna take Rot because I'm pretty sure, especially early on, we're gonna have Rot problems, so we need to weave in a few basic skills to keep up our Rot, and then we're gonna take Assimilation. Now the core of the build is gonna be HellFracture. In itself, HellFracture will have like a built-in multiplier with the additional fractures. So we're gonna make the HellFracture an Abyss skill, which is gonna keep constantly pulling in enemies. We're gonna take additional fracture because this is basically just a more multiplier, and we're gonna take cost reduction so we can more easily spam it. Now we're gonna take another step. Now it has been already confirmed by the IGN footage that we can increase the movement speed duration of Nether Step. Now this is huge because we're gonna take damage reduction, and what it's gonna give us is a bunch of damage reduction that is gonna constantly decay alongside the movement speed bonus. But we already seen footage of Nether Step with a 10-second cooldown and a 6-second duration. Now what I'm hoping to do is decrease the cooldown so much that it is actually gonna be like an 8-second cooldown, and we're gonna get 8-second movement speed bonus, so we will be constantly in a damage reduction state with Nether Step. We also take Gloomwalker. Gloomwalker is gonna be our get out of jail free card basically. So whenever we are in like danger or one-shot territory, we can just stay in the Nether Step. We obviously take movement speed for the movement speed duration increase, which is just playing alongside the damage reduction. Moving on, Sigil of Chaos. Now Sigil of Chaos, what I'm hoping is gonna be a huge damage buff whenever we use it on like a rare or whatever. Why am I saying this? Because normally you would need to kill some enemies, yeah, for it to deal damage. Now we're gonna take volatility casts. Now you will see later on, we're gonna be doing permanent volatility HellFractures, and therefore it's gonna constantly trigger. So I think it is gonna be our really big damage boost skill. We're gonna make it Abyss with the Sigil of Smoke. We already know that we will have a bunch of multipliers for Abyss, so this is just playing hand in hand, and we're gonna take volatility duration as well. Lastly, we take Metamorphosis and Terror Demon. Now Terror Demon is a crucial part of this build. Terror Demon will grant us shadow form stacks every second, and Abyss skills will not break the stat which is gonna be given to us by Terror Demon. Sadly, it will make Metamorphosis a 30-second cooldown, however with enough cooldown reduction, I'm hoping to be in permanent Metamorphosis state. We also take damage scaling. We already have confirmed footage by IGN with like items that has crazy life values on them, so it's gonna be a huge multiplier. Shards, this is gonna be pretty interesting. So we will take Ritualist shards, which is gonna allow us to get overpower stacks more easily, but more so that we will have a total with the overfill of 10 overpower stacks. Now that is gonna grant us 40% increased damage multiplicative and a bunch of AoE. Now it will also hex enemies constantly, and it will give us volatility basically. We also take Twisted Fragment. Now this is gonna be an extra damage. It will make our Abyss skills so we can empower them by volatility, because normally that's not the case. We will also gain After every 50 Wrath, spend 1 overpower. We will use the summon granted by our shard, which is Summon Warlock, and Summon Warlock will actually give us passively 4 increase overpower, the base is 4, so that's 8 already, and 40 Wrath, and on top of that, if we activate him, we will gain an additional 2 overpower and again a bunch of Wrath generation. Now, since we are not using any other summons and it has a 20 dominance cost, I'm hoping that we can actually have like a close to permanent uptime with this one. So, as I said previously, we will get 50% increased size and 40% increased damage with the summon. Moving on to the gear part now, these items are already confirmed by the leaked footage or the showed footage what we received. So we will have the unique mace, which is gonna grant us a bunch of HellFracture damage, and every third cast is gonna create a triple fracture. Now this is actually gonna be like a giga multiplier. We already have one unique focus. Now I'm not sure if this will be the endgame focus that we will focus on, but if we can permanently cast our shard demon, it could be really good because then it is a 50% multiplier basically. Now, this is gonna be really important, right? We will have the insidious aspect. Your abyss skills deal increased damage for each stack of shadow form. This bonus is increased by 400% while we are in stealth. Now, we already discussed that the metamorphosis will grant us that abyss skills do not break the stealth. So, that is a huge multiplier. And we have the Ritual Synthesis, which is basically granting us self-granting HellFracture, increased cooldown reduction, and resource cost. So basically, HellFracture is now an Occult, Hellfire, and Abyss skill. And if you read, Hellfire will grant Occult skills. So this is a Hellfire Occult skill. And then Abyss skill, which is HellFracture is going to be an Abyss skill, will grant Occult, which is HellFracture is an Occult skill, damage resource reduction. So this is really good. We're also going to take, most likely, Aspect of Might for the extra damage reduction. Now, this is the crazy part, yeah? The Shadow set has been already confirmed. And look at the set effects. Really, really crazy stuff. So, enemies within Shadow form areas are dominated for up to 7 seconds, preventing them from acting. Now, in itself, this is really good, but with the 5 set effect, this is gonna be actually crazy. The 3 set effect will grant us 25% damage reduction, absolutely huge, nice defenses, and it's gonna leave Sigil of Subversion Shadows trail behind you. If we take a look at Sigil of Subversion is basically giving us shadow form stacks. So this is like feeding into each other. And the 5 set effect, look at this. Abyss skill damage is increased by 350% multiplicative while we are in shadow form. But each cast consumes 1 stack. Dominated enemies take an additional 100%. So the 2 set effect will grant us dominated. So it is 450% multiplicative damage that we will receive from this set. Absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. So this is actually pretty nuts. So even with this somewhat bare bones information what we received, I can already tell that this is gonna be an absolutely bonkers build. We have the gems with the shadow multiplier, we have snippets of how the end game will play out, and I can already tell that this build is gonna be an absolutely crack one. So moving on for the skill showcase. So as we discussed, we're gonna take Doom, right? So basically, Doom will do this little animation. It's gonna give us Hexed, and it will restore our Wrath. Now HellFracture, we're gonna take the Abyss variant of HellFracture, which is gonna be constantly pulling in enemies. And keep in mind, because we take the Ritualist shard, it's gonna be 50% more AoE for the HellFracture. So this is actually gonna be crazy. Now we have the nether step, as we discussed. Nether step, this is the longer duration. So while we are in this form, actually, while we are under the ground, basically, during this state, we are actually immune to all damage. But keep in mind, we can actually recast this. So if we just tap it, recast, we will receive the damage reduction. But if we are in a situation where we actually want to like get away from the mobs or whatever, yeah, we can just stay in this form and not receive damage. It's basically a get out of jail free card. Moving on, Sigil of Chaos. Now this is gonna be the Abyss variant of Sigil of Chaos. And since we are taking that the volatility empowered skills will trigger the kill effect, I'm hoping that this is gonna be an actual crazy damage multiplier on like elites and whatnot, right? And lastly, we're gonna take the Terror Demon form. Now this is gonna be the Terror Demon form. As you can see, we are constantly getting, so if we go back at the very beginning, okay, so we start off with 4 stacks, right? And every single second while we are in this form, without the set effect or whatever, we will actually receive stacks. Every single second we will receive 1 stack. So for a maximum of 10. Now we already discussed that the shadow form will give us damage reduction and extra damage on top of everything. So as I said, this is gonna be an absolutely cracked build, I can already tell. I will start this day 100%. I will make updated videos about it, whatever we find, maybe some broken things. But after the first day, when the build is fully set up, we know all the details, I will make a follow-up video for this, and as I said, I will level with this one. If you have any idea how we can make this actually better, let me know in the comment section. I'm curious to see what other people are cooking up. I know a lot of people are like theory crafting stuff, so this is pretty exciting news. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.